Rosa now with the Divine Glaive. Basically, whoever Rosa sees is going to get taken down because there's a lot of shred in the build that Rosa has. The Glowing One into the Wishing Lantern into the Divine Glaive, right? So even if you leave with a slither of HP, the dot damage will do you in.
No, a part of me wishes that Tianzi buys War Axe.
Same.
So the appraisals have just like one-shots everyone.
Rank meta.
Rank meta.
It's like what? It's like when you oh.
Hello, Lord.
Oh.
GPS not working well.
Hey.
And it's just one straight row, by the way. So Lord not that good with direction. Oh, Apex in. ESQ is able to dodge a tectonic charge, but I'm not sure how they're going to defend this. Oh, Luna right on top of ESQ. Apex gets out. Here comes Rosa. They are in for the full commit. Lunar gets taken out, but doesn't really matter if Sigibum is alive. Winnie goes back, but TURKIYE wants the game 5. And they get what they earn. We're going the distance.
From a best of 5 now to a best of 1. And let me just say, now it feels like a real game. Now it's MLBB.
Ask and you shall get, receive, ask and you shall receive, I believe.
I like that when I called the draft and then they drafted up and then it performed well. Keep giving Rosa the Farsa, get Tianzi on a tank jungle. He's amazing in Assassins, but the team works well when they have like a Fredrin and a Boxia.
Yeah,
you know?
That's the formula, right? That is the formula. The export ban was also something that was done very well by TURKIYE. They really set themselves up for success. Look at the smiles on their face. Tianzi finally getting to play a game where he gets to do whatever he wants. Even for Lunar, had a rough game on the Yuzong in Game 2. Game 3 was sort of like, you really can't do much. But this game on the Lapu, he is all in.
And this is one of those times where you feel like as a Gato, you feel invincible. And then when you fight against a Fredrin, you're like, oh, now I remember why I was automatic just for a little bit. Now right? Having your AOG getting cancelled again and again and again and again is very demoralizing.
We even from the start of WEC we laid this out, on the table from the get-go. Gatot into Grok, already a pain.
Yes.
Now there's the Fredrin.
So maybe the final game we won't see Gatot and Grok again, which honestly for me should be a benefit for first pick, right?
Yes.
Because you get either or.
Yes.
Right? Don't ban Grok, don't ban Gatot, whatever is open, you just pick it up. You don't go play, just take it.
I think you just take Grok like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 times, right?
But you should always ban Grok.
You should always ban Grok.
As second pick.
Yeah, and if Grok is open, you should always take Grok.
Always. Imagine if the Grok is open and you pick up a high loss.
Oh, we've seen that.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to remind you.
And we knew how that panned out.
Yeah.
High loss loses all the games.
Yeah.
In that specific matchup.
Right, so right now, Sigibum is the goal hunter as well as the GOAT. Winnie taking a lot of damage, though I gotta say, not by choice. And then Lunar is the best support with 11 total assists. So right now, Indonesia, they gotta lock in because Husky right now, the storyline is really there. The first time for Team TURKIYE in WEC going to the podium, and Indonesia, a lot of support, a lot of hype, a lot of expectations.
Yeah.
Considering them as grand finalists, if they don't make it the top 3, that's going to be quite a blow.
It's going to be quite a blow, and having to deal with the wrath of the Indonesian supporters back home. I think that's another layer that it's going to take a while to sift through. Rosa, the Thorn Queen, gets the moment. MVP of game number 4, and just a flawless performance. We've seen everything from this Farsa. We've heard tales. Sometimes I'm pretty sure that people have nightmares about it.
M4 Gary faced up against Rosa. When he was using the Haya, he shadows in, he dies. Yeah.
You don't see that often.
You don't see that often. Apparently Rosa does.
Yeah. So this is the only play that we felt like was a bit too much from TURKIYE, but they readjusted very quickly, right? That was the only spot on the record, and afterwards it was just pixel perfect execution.
Yep. And then basically everything after this, it was mostly just TURKIYE because there's just not enough damage coming in from Team Indonesia, because usually, even as the EXP, you will have some form of damage, but the Alice does, but pales in comparison to a pick like Lapu, to an Arlet, So this is where we really start to feel the difference of damage between both teams. And even though Sigibum did get taken down here, Indonesia had to work for it. He tried his very best to dodge everything out.
Yeah. Even with Sigibum around, you still have to deal with Rosa, with Tianzi. And for a big part of the fight, Lunar wasn't even in there.
Yep.
This was great though, the cancel of the Gleam with the tectonic charge. This is, when this roster is at their best, we know their potential because we've seen it so many times. And better late than never, right? Came at the 11th hour, just that before the bell rings, and Turkey now earns their 5th game.
And it wasn't in the highlights, but there was also a moment where he caught the Hayabusa, Rosa as well as Apex 47 caught the Hayabusa around the orange buff.
Oh, yes.
And even though he quad shadow out, he predicted the Haya to be at that particular shadow. Boom, that was beautiful.
Yeah,
that shows how much Hayabusa Rosa has fought against as a Farsa.
Yeah, I think Rosa is just, he has memorized, you know, all the patterns, all the tendencies of these assassin players. And I think that's a good quality for a mid laner. You are sort of forced to go up against these matchups. Like, you don't really have a choice.
As a mid, you have 2 opponents. EXP or jungle?
Actually, you have 3. Your Roma.
Hey, I think of it.
Okay, not you.
When I'm using a Grot, we're fine.
We're fine.
I'm using a Hylos, we're fine.
Look, we only had like
if I have a Cho, you gotta be, you know, I'm just saying.
We only had like 1 bad start, and we got double killed by a Loi bot. Okay, that's the only like blemish on the record.
And then we use Alice mid, and then it's all good.
All right, here's a fun. I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag. You know, like,
right.
I don't care if my rank games get ruined. If you guys haven't tried Alice mid, Angela roam, try it once.
Yeah.
90%.
Actually, if not the Angela, I kind of prefer Minotaur.
Minotaur, yeah.
Minotaur, Alice,
90% of people will underestimate
the damage.
And they just lose the lane. Please try it. If I see someone do that in game, I know that they're watching this.
Yes. So now, for the final game here, I kind of feel like Turkey, they found what is needed to win against Indonesia. Stick to that as much as you can. I'm pretty sure some of the heroes are going to get banned, but I feel like you can still replicate it. But for Indonesia, I think it's just more damage, right? Just more damage, because that's the only thing that they're really lacking. They're hoping on to Joe and Ezekiel. A bit too much for that game.
Yeah, I think in this current meta, there has been some very solid patterns that cost a team a game. It could be too one-dimensional in terms of damage, only 1 damage dealer, not enough crowd control. I think it's just these 3, right? These are the 3 trifectas of what...
As Malaysians, we say, tak cukup rasa.
Yeah, not enough kick.
Doesn't have that MSG.
Doesn't have the yum-yum, they call it.
The yum-yum, exactly. So
I learned it from an Australian, so...
there needs to be some balance, right? Make sure, because here's the thing that I learned from a coach as well. He said this current meta, everyone needs to do a little bit, right? Meaning to say, even the roamer has to do a little bit of damage. That's one of the things that Kilda, the Grok, and even Agatha really sets them apart against other roamers, because now it's really not a hyper carry kind of meta. Not one person can dictate the game. The jungler has to at least a little bit. The man has to do a little bit. Gold, EXP, roam, everyone has to do chip in a little bit.
Yeah, everyone has to. I think to a certain degree, it goes back to a very traditional way of approaching the 5v5s, right? Crowd control is king.
Yeah.
Damage, obviously, you can never have too much damage, but you can have too much tankiness.
Yes.
Right, does it make sense, right? It makes sense, right?
It makes sense. Like, I feel like, although I do have to say, if you don't know whether your composition has too much of something, it's very easy. Do you have something that you lack? Because you know you have too much damage when you don't have enough CC or tankiness. You know your draft is too tanky when you don't have damage.
That is true.
If you somehow make a draft that is not tanky and has no damage, frankly, quite impressed.
5 roamers. Diggy, Rafaela, Florian, Matilda, Estes.
Now the thing is, you can make it so that Matilda does damage, right?
That's true.
Right?
True. Now I miss Matilda damage. Actually, Do I like facing against it? No.
Actually, we're gonna theory craft.
Wait.
Once the grand finals is over, let's make a draft that is not tanky and has no damage.
We should take a poll,
and,
right?
No. And the thing is, we gotta make it fair. We can't cheese it with like just, you know, Rafa.
Yeah, so we can't have a draft that you won't ever see.
Like, meaning to say, it has to be like, there's a mage, there's a tank.
It has to make sense.
It has to be rankable.
It has to be...
classicable. No, brawlable.
Brawlable. We can leave it to the fans out there, right?
I'm sure they found at least one.
Okay, I will hop on social media after this, so you guys have some time to think about it. Give us a comp that has, what, all 5 rows?
Yeah.
All 5 rows that has, but lacks damage and tankiness. I can't think of any.
Because I feel like everyone complains about the balance, but so far it's actually been quite okay, right?
It's been the best it's been, you know, for a long, long time.
Yeah.
The meta is a lot more versatile. Heroes are a lot more flexible. There's a lot more ways to deal with...
I guess the only down for this one is just the lack of marksman, but that's it.
They've had it since the start of the game, so you know, take the backseat for like 6 months and it's fine.
I wonder if a curveball will be coming in from Team Indonesia and ban out the Farsa. I don't think it's worth it. Oh wait, no. Okay, be second pick and then take away the Farsa.
Be second pick and
Kalia Farsa, open up. That's already good for Indonesia if they take second pick.
I think they might go second pick. I mean, there's one way to find out. It depends on the map as well. We haven't gotten Broken Wall.
Yeah, because that one was expanding rivers.
Yes, expanding rivers.
Yeah.
So we got 3 dangerous grass, 1 expanding river. So the map definitely matters. I think if it's flying cloud, then all the more to go for these high tempo heroes. If not, then I guess Fredrin isn't too bad. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if you first face Fredrin.
Yes. Yes, I do agree, because at that point, Rosa's biggest problem is surviving. And at that point, pick up any mages, and he'll be fine. If you get a Farsa, great. But if you already have a Fredrin, then the Eve will help you out, and it's going to be dangerous grass. So, going back to game number 1 and 2 and 3.
Okay, Hilda, Selena. I expect Selena to maybe be considered at this point, right? Like,
I feel like if it is considered, it's probably Yuzik.
Yeah, probably USQ. Man, that RNG for the map has not really been the best.
For me, if I'm TURKIYE, don't care about the map. It's just some extra bushes. Boo-hoo, deal with it. Just Fredrin, burst mage, go marksman.
Someone that can check bushes.
Yeah. If you think about it, everyone can check bushes. It's just that some people die faster than others.
Some don't make it out of the bush.
Some don't make it out. You go in and you don't go out. We're going into draft here. So this is going to be the most important draft for both teams here. It looks like Indonesia will be first pick. Betting out the Fanny, the Kimi, and the Haya. TURKIYE betting out the Grok as well as the Uranus. Are they going to ban out? They can get the CC, so maybe they won't ban the CC.
They can open Gatot, I feel. I wouldn't
Baxia.
mind. Right.
Ben Baxia. Right, Ben Baxia. Gatot is open.
Yes. But yeah,
Gatot is open.
YSS or Lancelot.
Or don't pick up jungle just yet, because
pick up the main 2.
Yeah, okay.
Kalea is open. Lapu is open.
Yep. Lapu and then Evo Farsa, and then third pick Fredrin.
Your Kalea Farsa is also up.
Yeah.
Lapu is always a good universal pick.
Because I feel like that's the most lunar-ish hero, right? We've seen him on Yuzong, not so hot. The CC is a good pick too if they want to go for it, but yeah, CC is still fine, right? CC, Farsa,
CC,
Eve,
Lapu, Farsa, Eve.
If you want to show your Fredrin now, I wouldn't mind. Oh wait, no, you
okay,
cannot.
That would be too dangerous.
No, yeah, because they can pick up an export.
Yes. I feel like it has to be a second phase pick.
I want it to be a Farsa, because then even if they do pick up the export, they can do it.
Yes. So they are gonna go for the Yuzong and the Lancelot.
Okay, well.
Some semblance of that game 1, and it will be the Joy Angela. All right. Okay, so we are reverting a bit to that game 1.
Yes. So this is Indonesia in their comfortablest pick.
If only they didn't pick the Lancelot, I would call for a Fredrin pick and then you ban out Export. So okay, it's a tricky spot to be in.
Yeah, that's why I did not want Team TURKIYE to pick up their jungler now. they can still go for the Esmeralda, and I think it's still serviceable.
I agree, but then you lock yourself into double fighters.
Yes.
And you don't have a Kimmy. And you don't have YSS. Lunox, good solution, right? A decent solution to deal with it.
But this is maybe because we handle MPL Malaysia, and we know the best Malaysian team basically has the mindset, if it's not banned, I'm still gonna pick it up. I'm not too sure I'm liking every single game they're changing the strategy when you clearly know what worked.
Right, it's like, why change it when it works?
Yeah. I mean, like, here's the thing. It makes sense. It definitely makes sense. But when the results keep changing, that's when questions start to pop up. At least for me.
Yeah, when it's not broken, why fix it? Something along that line. Though you can still ban out like powerful picks like Hilda. I do like it. I think X-Borg needs to be considered also.
Actually, Turkey does not have a lot of tankiness.
Wait, they can pick X-Borg, right? They can. I mean, Turkey can consider. Though I think like the Roma is a lot more important right now.
I feel like, yeah, Team Turkey, X-Borg is a fine ban, and then Indonesia ban out Esme, and then we're looking pretty good. Although, yeah, gonna go for that ban.
If the Yuzhong wasn't there, or I would even consider Fredrin next P lane. If there's a room for it, it will be a Lapu ban by Turkey. I think they can still consider X-Borg if they want to, since they already have good damage profile with the Lance and the Lunox. It's not too bad of a pick.
Yeah.
You are looking for something that can deal with the lane alone. And then you need a very strong roamer to hold the front. And I think that's going to be the challenge for Apex.
As of right now, I think the high loss is still fine-ish because there's not a lot of shred from Indonesia just yet.
They could Franco again if they really want to. You have an Angela +1.
Yeah, but then you just pick 5. So you're basically showing whether this Lunox is going to go mid or gold.
Yeah, I think you... Who do you want to hide? I think that's the question. A part of me feels like you want to get the best possible Roma choice. The Esmeralda is banned out.
I would actually legit go for X-Borg here.
Yeah.
Because it's Angela mid. There's no burst damage that will take out the Faraga armor.
Yep. And that's why I think if you want that Gotcha Franco, you can just run it back, right? You have some decent damage to take out whoever comes in with the Angela. You just need to be able to bob and weave around some of these conditions in the fight.
Because for Team Indonesia now, they're showing the Angela, unless they're gonna do something crazy and put Angela, Rome, and Gata in EXP or something, they're not gonna be having range damage or like a safe range damage.
Ruby is also not that bad into what Indonesia has.
Yeah, into the Joy, into the Gata.
They take the X-Borg, right? That's what I'm worried about. That was what I was worried about for the side of Turkey. If that X-Borg goes to, they don't pick it, Indonesia has a good window to take it. And now they are in a bit of a pickle. And
X-Borg is, Hylos is a bad pick, so they basically do have to go for the Franco because CC can drop you down fast, X-Borg can drop you down fast, so they have to go for Franco.
We sort of knew that this Franco was coming in the last pick. It's more of what that fourth pick was going to be. I personally feel like X-Borg is still a better fourth pick for Turkey.
I think Turkey, their draft will work if Lunox can kill the, or at least destroy the Faraga armor fast. Because if not, you know Team Turkey with this draft, they will clump up. And if they clump up, hey, the X-Borg is going to be one very happy fiery boy.
Yeah. So we sort of forecasted how the draft is going to be. I personally still feel like X-Borg was a better choice, but you know, potato. I think Ruby can still work. You get some good catch, right? You trade a bit of that X-Borg fighting power for the catch that can help Lunox for Rosa in the mid lane. But this is all for the marbles. A podium finish and a bronze medal, plus the prize pool on top of that. Indonesia up against Turkey in this bronze match best of 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to jump in the final game in the bronze matchup to determine who will be the third place of WEC 2025. Is it going to be Turkey or Indonesia?
Back to where it all started and how it was designed. Dangerous grass just like game 1 and a Franco on Turkey, Angela for Indonesia. So some throwbacks. Hopefully it pans out slightly differently for Indonesia. And 9, the 8.5 to 10-minute mark is where we're going to be looking at for Indonesia because that snowball will wear off. forcing out a flicker from Apex 47, but IESF did trade his for that.
Yep. Look at his team Indonesia. They're already scouting inside the jungle, trying to slow down TNZ just a little bit. But it looks like Team Turkey, they understand this kind of draft. They can't be super aggressive. They just gotta make sure that they trade safely. So TNZ is gonna be uninteractive for a while.
Yeah. And mid priority should theoretically be given over to Indonesia, but they don't want to shove the wave. And I think that's a smart move. You want to force Turkey to feel slightly more uncomfortable, especially you dealing with a Joy. And as a Lunox, you are the most vulnerable pre-level 4 without the brilliance.
And we can even see the positioning from Rosa. He understands that he is going to get ganked. And Joe is thinking about it because Rosa is not level 4 just yet. TNZ has to come up in mid to make sure that Rosa does not get denied of those minions.
Yep, have to cost in some help. Second time that Joe was thinking about launching himself in, but good housekeeping from Turkey to prevent that from happening. And now Joe spotted in the bottom lane, taking the XP crab. To a certain degree, Apex 47 is also been doing a pretty good job. TNZ finds Witty, knows that there's no kill angle. Turtle spawn spot.
Yeah, looking at the turtle right now. Looks like TNZ is out of the fight there. And Rosa gets kill onto Witty.
Good stuff. And he takes the turtle away. Rosa takes everything into his own hands.
It looks like Rosa really needed that 10-minute break. Because look at this, he's performing on the far side, now on the Lunox. And Team Turkey, they're not losing by 1,000 gold in the first 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and they have completed the first step in dealing with this Angela draft, right? Deny turtle, deny kills. Aran needs the help of their hard guard, and TNZ a lot more comfortable in his own environment. And Joe again missing the timing. Will get the XP crab as a consolation prize, but Turkey is handling this very well.
And right now, Witty uses Unbreakable onto Apex 47. Gotta be careful in case the Iron Hook comes in, hits onto Witty.
And Rosa should have the damage with the Darkening, and he's just piercing through Witty. The hard guard even used, but it didn't matter.
And we can see some hesitation there, because Ezekiel will be like, if I do this, can you survive? Is it even really worth it? And then he uses it just a little bit too late. Earlier, maybe able to save him out. And you can even just cancel it so that you're not in trouble yourself. So Indonesia is starting things a little bit rough here. Team Turkey has clear momentum.
I mean, Rosa has, you know, like 2 kills already. So that's not going to be easy, you know. 2 kills straight for the Lunox in the early game. It accelerates the gameplay and it makes it even hard to manage. Lunar uses the Petrify Black Dragon form a bit late. Tries to trade Rayhead's kill, but wasn't able to do so. So it's going to be a tough situation to manage. AOG drops in. Apex 47 will have to take the brunt and the fall for it. Rosa brilliances to safety. IESF finds the kill. But Rosa looking to run away. Good Witty with the tank. Forces out the flicker and Cyclone Knife from Rosa. Turkey taking a bit of the fall, but still able to cut losses.
All right. Taking over for LaFell for a short moment here. I have no idea what's going on because I haven't been paying attention. But it's okay because we're all here for a good time anyway. Game number 5, Turtle, gonna be secured by Team Indonesia. Looking at they're actually trying to fight.
Not a problem there for Witty, right? Still. I think without Rosa, you won't have the output yet to take him down. Welcome back, by the way.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting
So you did think it through of staying until the end?
Stuff just happened.
Stuff just happened.
So what have I been missing? What's the state of the game right now for me and everyone else?
Well, whoever wins this gets some prize pool.
No, I mean like the game itself. We know that. We know what's going on.
I mean,
outside the game.
I would say,
the game.
Yeah, well, Turkey is being very comfortable, right? You can comfortable in their skin, but also very comfortable with how the game is going. I think they have adapted to what Indonesia is bringing to the table. The Lunos getting 2 kills in the early game definitely makes it feel a lot better.
That is true. Wow, 2 kills. Oh, that's a hook.
Witty gets pulled back, very durable, but cannot survive Phantom Execution. That's TNZ finding one. Lunar, gets a Furious Dive. Baran is bleeding out. Black Dragon form is enough with the help of Rosa. Even cuts through the vengeance. IESF, he wants one in return, but Rosa lets him eat the damage from Brilliance. Double kill for Lunox.
Team Turkey definitely coming on top right now, and looks like they found Kabuki as well.
Right to the chest, TNZ with his second.
Looks like you weren't kidding about Team Turkey looking even more comfortable. Their victory in game number 4 certainly gave them the momentum they needed. And they are aware they are this close from placing on the podium. The Angela pick on the side of Team Indonesia means their scaling may come into question the longer the game goes as well.
So what we saw set up early on where it feels like a throwback, a deja vu to game 1 where you have Angela on Indonesia, you have Franco for Turkey, dangerous grass. Apex 47's impact has been pretty good. Well, that's a lot of commitment just for that Franco. Sigibum will try to bail him out of this, but he still goes down, and now Lunar barely escapes thanks to the Furious dive. But I think Turkey not too disheartened about that.
Yeah, definitely not. As long as they can maintain the gold lead moving forward, they'll still be in a very comfortable position since they will have the Lunox and the Lancelot to scale into the late game. Now, Indonesia will largely need to play together, and we can see that they are positioning to take advantage of that, but Turkey still want this.
Finds the taunt onto Sigibum. He flickers away and survives from now. Trim and Petrify! Lunar! Really putting the work in. Witty down low, and there is going to be TNZ finding a killing spree. Brilliance for Rosa to survive. Kabuki chased away. They turn around and switch targets onto Joe, forcing your HQ to get out of that as well. A run on the run. Apex 47 with the hook, and TNZ has a mega kill.
Truly living up to the name right now. This man is the Apex Predator. And Indonesia, I don't really know what the decision-making was there. What was the call? Why did they chase so far, go under the tower, and then give up their positioning over the Lord? A great Petrify from Lunar too meant that they were completely punished for that one. They lost the turtle. The scaling is really building up. This is not looking too good.
Not at all. Even Sigibum just eats the full damage. Doesn't get the hook, the drag back in, so that's a saving grace, I guess, for Joe and your HQ. But now these bushes are a lot more dangerous because Apex 47 has been on the money with those hooks. Turkish Delight again into a bloody hunt. Finding execution. Witty desperately trying to hold on but cannot withstand TNZ.
If the TNZ's still diving.
Thorn rolls. Good footwork, Kabuki. Saying a prayer there. No Black Dragon form for Turkey. Mid-tier 2 will go down.
Ooh, that was close. The hook almost landed on Aran. Is able to avoid that. But if Witty, who is one of the tankier members of Indonesia, is melting that quickly, we know that Rosa is farmed. And the more Rosa holds on to this snowball, the more space that Turkey gets to continue pushing their lead forward. Looking at itemization, they're actually playing this very offensively. Apex 47 with the first item, Winter Crown, not even bothering to fight defense items because he knows that he's in a perfectly fine state. Even a potential fleeting time after... Oh, Rosa!
Can they kill him? Nope. Brilliance. Quick way out. Last Insanity. Not a problem. Rosa disengages.
A pick-off there would have been crucial for Team Indonesia. If they can shut down this Lunox, they buy themselves precious minutes. But Rosa has been popping off so far. He's not going to make that mistake. So it is a question of why he was that far up in the first place. With multiple ultimates utilized on Indonesia, Turkey actually have an even easier time securing this Lord. Apex 47, no tank items, and he alone just needs to stand there to keep Indonesia out of their own jungle.
Worth mentioning that Rosa also picked up the Wishing Lantern during his great escape. Okay, that hook goes wide. Apex 47 has a Winter Crown. Just got his fleeing time. And Winter Crown right now. They're gonna pull back onto Kabuki. Oh my goodness, Aran, where did you go? Witty disintegrates. Rosa is unstoppable. They commit the Black Dragon form from Lunar at the cost of Apex.
Apex goes down, but the Winter Crown buys enough time for them to get the I'm Offended, pull in, and then the blow up on Aran and Witty. Now, Indonesia being able to get any trade at this point is actually not too bad for them considering the goal difference we're looking at. But Turkey are feeling it. You can see them. They're taunting in the face of their opponents. The Lord is pushing in now.
This is the most confident we've seen Turkey in the entire tournament. Sigibum not able to get the pull back, but it is fine. No structural damage, or substantial one at least for Indonesia to get a very straightforward base defense. Inhibitors all stand. 7.7k goal lead for Turkey.
Something big needs to happen here, Team Indonesia. Remember the stakes. This is the last game of a best-of-5 series for that third placing. If you lose this, you walk away from WEC making it through this entire journey without a share of the prize pool. Definitely not a good feeling. in terms of damage done as well. Rosa obviously dominating the top of the charts, but the only person really being able to put out a bit of a fair place is Kabuki on this X-Borg. And he can no longer feel safe about standing in front too. The burst damage from Team TURKIYE is sufficient to actually blast that Viraga armor off straight away. They have to play together, but even when they are grouped up, it's not sufficient. This would normally be the counterplay to something like a Franco, but it isn't sufficient. Fleeting time, town completed, Apex, and going for even more plays.
Sigibum wanted more, but only found one. The Don't Run Wolf King actually controls 3 of them though. Another commitment from the side of Indonesia, but only ends in the death of Aran. The Black Dragon form is out as well. Lunar zoning the rest of Indonesia away. Winnie goes down. And TURKIYE looking to continue that damage. Sigibum comes in with the pullback. Yehezkiel does survive that. Minion wave still a bit of a distance away, but Indonesia unable to show resistance at all. They have the hard guard on Kabuki. But the plan is going with the last insanity. They're all clumped up together, but TURKIYE could win the crown from Apex 47. Sigibum with a pullback. Joe is gone. TNZ goes to well right through Kabuki.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at what could be the greatest upset of the entire tournament right here. So many times Team TURKIYE could have been picked off right there. They were even baiting Indonesia into the fight. They know how much of a lead they have, and they were not punished for it at all. Apex was the only person to go down, but Franco isn't really worth all that much. 12 minutes in, 9K goal lead in favor of Team TURKIYE. Rosa still undefeated, 607 on the Lunox. This is TURKIYE's late game core, completely enabled off of early game snowballing. And TNZ's no slouch either. Team Indonesia hasn't been able to put farm in on Joe and their other heroes who are meant to be able to create the space necessary for them through the early to mid game are just not relevant at all.
More than 10K goal lead and the second Lord about to march onto the map. Indonesia might be on their last legs, to be very honest, and I agree, this could be the biggest upset of this tournament. A podium finish from TURKIYE would be a glorious finisher to what has been one of the more rocky journeys in the entire tournament. They're the only one that came into the playoffs, or at least into the top 4, without a perfect record. They have dropped games in the group stage.
Team TURKIYE has been quite the stalwart presence in the scene for a while. It's not too big of a surprise that they'd be able to get a podium finish at an international tourney eventually, but the biggest surprise is that it may come at the expense of Team Indonesia. Of all regions in the world, one of the most decorated, currently staring down the face of the barrel. Lord's pushing in. Let's see if Team TURKIYE can do it.
They find a pullback on the Kabuki. Braga armor actually stays. Rosa not able to blow it up, but TNZ looking for a freestyle moment. Yehezkiel forced back. Good iframes with the Thorn roll. TNZ gets jumped on. Immortality is down. Pull back on the Winnie. TNZ looks to get out and he escapes. Winnie on the chase. Finds the taunt. Luna zones away the rest of Indonesia as TNZ is legendary. Aran now next on the list. And Apex will grab him back. Kabuki explodes. But Sigibum is in. TURKIYE looking to march it down. The Crescent Warriors, through doubts and trials, tribulations, have completed the conquest. A podium finish in the WEC25. Team TURKIYE are your bronze medalists.
Team TURKIYE has made a statement to the world of Mobile Legends. It does not matter your history. It does not matter your accolades. In this era, anything is possible. Team Indonesia concludes their WEC journey in 4th place. We have 2 new podium finishes guaranteed.
Slightly short of last year's performance where they finished 3rd, but for TURKIYE, the Crescent Soldiers, they have definitely set a new milestone for themselves. The Turkish definitely delighted with this performance. They clip the wings of the Garuda and take over the skies themselves. To land or sky, TURKIYE is the one that you remember tonight. With that being said, congratulations to Team TURKIYE. Let's head over to the stage with Rose and TURKIYE.
Starting off with a shaky performance, but that all led them to a podium podium finish. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you your bronze medalist, this WEC 2025 Team Turkey! Guys, congratulations. I know that this is not the result that you guys expected, but nonetheless, you guys are still our bronze medalists. How did you guys boost back your morale after losing just the match before this?
Aslında Endonezya'ya karşı ilk aşamada da gerçekten ilk maçlarda da çok zorlandık ve çok kötü maçlar geçirdik ama birlikte toplandık ve birbirimize destek vermeye devam ettik. Hep birlikte draft attık ve durumu düzelttik ve sonuçta bu böyle bir şekilde sona erdi.
At the first matches, we didn't play well. I mean, he said we did well, but after we lose 2 matches to Indonesia, we speak together, we draft together, and we win.
Yeah, hard work definitely comes into play. Now, perhaps, what is the biggest lesson that you guys learned in this tournament that you guys could potentially apply in the upcoming tournaments that you guys have?
Bence bu turnuvadan öğrenebildiğimiz en iyi ders kesinlikle hiçbir rakibimizi küçük görmemek ve her rakibimize en iyi şekilde karşılarına çıkmak. Çünkü herhangi bir şekilde küçük veya gördüğünüz zaman veya hafife aldığınız zaman gerçekten hiç beklemediğiniz şeyler yaşayabiliyorsunuz.
He said, do not underestimate anyone.
I agree with that. Never ever underestimate your opponents because that could lead to overconfidence and such. As you end your journey here in the WEC as our bronze medalist, Sigiboom, is there anything you have to say to the fans and your fellow countrymen that have supported you guys in this journey?
Bizi destekledikleri için teşekkür ederiz. Çok iyi performans göstermemiş olabiliriz ama ileriki turnuvalarda size söz veriyoruz.
He said, thank you for supporting us. We know we didn't perform well, but we will do better at other tournaments.
Thank you very much, Team Turkey. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is your bronze medalist. Congratulations, boys, to everybody here and to everybody watching from all over the world. Don't go anywhere because in a few more moments, we will kickstart our grand finale. But before that, let us throw it back to the casters to momentarily give us a full rundown on this full crazy series.
Thank you very much, Rose, Rosa, and Sigiboom. Congratulations once more to Team Turkey on the bronze finish in the WEC 25. And there's one thing we can be sure, Sadafa, this is not going to be the last time we see them.
Definitely not. I imagine the momentum and energy that an achievement like this has provided will fuel them for many tournaments to come. And I'm very eager to see what kind of growth we can expect from them after they have officially made it to the podium for the very first time. Team Indonesia, a very unexpected result to have their journey end here. But there have definitely been some questionable decisions made in terms of their drafting and their approach to the game.
Yeah, more so, I think, when given a draft that they definitely have practice with, is it fair to say it's tunnel visioning? There were definitely moments where you sort of like change feet into the machine. I can respect the attempt from Indonesia. They've gotten some wombo combos off, but giving Rosa a 2-kill lead in the beginning is definitely one of the factors that Turkey were able to kind of accelerate the game.
Yeah, that is step one to disaster. Because when you are playing an Angela composition, you want to supercharge one of your players.
Yeah.
This is typically going to be CC, for example. So you want to focus hard guard onto Iran, make sure you win out that lane as much as possible, and then you use that snowball to carry you into the later stages. A lot of that kind of goes down the drain though if your opponent is the one getting that snowball instead, especially the mid laner who is capable of countering hard guard with that max HP damage.
Can go invulnerable. You have a ton of crowd control as well, and the Franco was the icing on the cake, right? Franco was the reason that they made a comeback in game 1, and is the reason that one of the main reasons that they closed out the series with a victorious moment at the end. Hall of Famers on your screens. We have TNZ, of course, as the richest guy, the goal hunter. Rosa, the GOAT, greatest of all time. All hail the Thorn Queen. Witty as the tanker, and Apex 47, of course, on the Franco. It's the best support.
It's always such a pleasure to see a good Franco player on a stage as big as this. Landing those hooks is always such a cathartic feeling. And Team Turkey were able to take advantage of a very strong start to allow Apex 47 to buy very aggressive itemization. Didn't have to rely on grabbing an early dominance or just go for defensive. Immediately Winter Crown into fleeting time, and he can maximize it by playing super aggressive, using the Winter Crown to buy time, sacrificing himself and setting up for his squad.
Yeah, the last time we sort of, saw the last break that they had, right, between game 3 and 4, there was definitely some serious talk amongst the players, and it really woke them up, right? Like even Rosa said that they started drafting and talking together like a team. They reset the mental, didn't let the losses hit them hard, and they came back swinging with the comfort Ube strat, the Ube-ish strat in game 4, and then Rosa closes out as an MVP in both game 4 and 5. 4 as the Farsa, 5 as the Lunox.
I kind of wish we got to see a little bit more of this mode of Team Turkey. It feels like they were experimenting with different strategies throughout WEC, but you can tell that this is where they're most comfortable. This is where they're most practiced. And that experience really shines through. We can see in the highlights itself the sheer difference in micro mechanics and aggression because they know how this works.
Yeah, this kind of stings too because you lost the turtle to the Brilliance, take damage, but we also saw how Indonesia started really having a lot of focus in trying to make individual plays, right, to bring themselves back into the game. And I think this is a very good example of the beginning of the end where the fight gets split up, and TURKIYE, I think credits to Lunar, his first game as the Yuzong in this best of 5 wasn't really the best, but this game as the Yuzong is landing some sick petrified counter engages. His Black Dragon form was keeping Indonesia away, and just a great Yuzong game, a scary Yuzong game.
It's a great redemption here from Lunar, who has always shown good potential and is finally able to show it since he has the space to perform. Sigibum as well, getting some really nice I'm offended catches. When a Ruby is farmed, you just see how much he's able to sustain and stay in fights. Indonesia tried to play for the original game plan, which is to split the fight apart, take advantage of having multiple fighters, but when you're behind, you kind of have to switch things up.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there really isn't an alternative way for Team Indonesia with that drive. It was a ticking time bomb and it blew up right in their face. So once again, Indonesia unfortunately will finish in 4th place, just like one position short of the podium. They won't be getting any share of the prize pool, but Team Turkey, this is a new milestone, right? They only made it to top 10, if I remember correctly, last year, but to finish in top 3 in WEC25, the Turkish has to be happy with this.
A big step up and definitely something that they should be proud of, something that they've worked hard to deserve, and also very unexpected from all of us watching, all of us predicting before the tournament started, just as unexpected as me showing up to replace LaFell was. But it's okay, right? We embrace the unexpected, we welcome it. And what a great way to set things up for the grand finals.
Yeah, and we have so much more in store. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, that was just a bronze match. We still have a grand finals coming up, a best of 5 between Team Malaysia and Team Cambodia. And Team Malaysia has a chance to go for the back-to-back. We'll go on a short break and we will be back for the grand finals of WEC25.
To be in the zone, gamers need true support. One that's in sync with your body at every angle. Takes your weight without pressure. Fully adjustable to cradle your spine and adapts as you shift in your seat. True ergonomic alignment to achieve your perfect gaming form.
Wish me well. You ain't like me then, but I guess it's past tense, cause you tapped in. You was never who you said. I see the facade when looking at really me. Like you could tell my guard up. I ain't taking nails. If it's not in my favor, won't sign a deal. I got the royalty in the mail. I got authority in the field. Take a look in my iris. I be precise with the timing. I move on a touch like the high risk. I never know where my mind went.